Hi, welcome back to our kangaroo math competition last week preparation. Today we're gonna solve a math problem. Oh, but no worries, it will not be too hard. But the most important thing is this is a kind of problem to enhance kids' number sense. Because normally there is a kind of misunderstanding that is some parents and their children may think to enhance number sense we just need to do a lot of calculation. First, that is very boring for most kids. If you just extend to calculate repeatedly every day, do a lot of operation only, that is too boring for them and it's very hard for them to persist. Second, actually, that is not very effective. For example, if the children get 8 plus 7 equals 15 by memorizing the answer direct only, actually, he or she may still make mistake, even after they have entered standard 5 or standard even 6. Because to memorize something, that means after a while, after several months, you will forget it. You do not really get it. So the most important is to know the nature of each operation. And after that, we need to apply those operations to solve some real life problems. That's why actually you will see in Kangaroo Math Standard 1 to 4, there are not a lot of the great number calculation. And also, even if Standard 1 to 2 students, parents exercise their children calculation, but they won't be able to solve K-BAT questions after they have entered standard 3. The most important thing is actually big number calculation is solved by using the same rule as numbers within 20. So it makes no sense no matter how many calculations you have done. But it doesn't mean you do not really need to practice any calculation. It's not that kind of string. But the point is, you should not only calculate, but also try to use the knowledge to solve some math problems, especially the real life problems. For example, in 2019 Kangaroo Math Competition Pre-Ecole level question number 5, it says at the entrance of the zoo there are 12 children in the queue. Lucy is the 7th from the front, and the king is the 2nd from back. How many children are there between Lucy and King in the queue? Actually, the question is very lovely because it gives us the 12 children picture directly, so you just need to count it. But still, we need to do some more details. For example, first we need to figure out which side is the front, which side is back. Apparently, all of them face the entrance, so this is the front and this is the back. Second, actually, there is a really confusing term we need to distinguish. That is the 7th. If we know Lucy is the 7th, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So do we need to include Lucy herself here in the 7th student? I think this won't be a hard question for most of the children. Yeah, exactly. We need to count her. But if the question become a bit different, like it says Lucy, before Lucy, there are 7 kids standing before Lucy. So this one, is Lucy still the girl in pink dress? Before means the 7 kids doesn't have Lucy. Lucy is not one of the 7. So the next one should be Lucy. Have you noticed that actually it makes big difference when it says a certain position, for example, the 7th, and when it says before or behind? If that is at a certain position, we need to include that guy. If that is before or behind, we should not include that guy. Second, in the question one, so let's also find king. King is the 2nd from the back. 1, 2, the 2nd. Here, this is the king. The question helps us to figure out how many children are there between Lucy and king. So question comes again. Shall we include Lucy and king? Are both characters included if that is between and? Actually not, if that is between and. It's easier for you to know this if you compare that with from to. If that is from Lucy to King, you can see actually both should be included. But if that is between and, none of them should be included. Not include any of it. So here we can see between them, actually we just got 1, 2, 3. 3 guys. So the answer is 3. After you have decided the direction, we can just find the main characters directly according to the specific terms. But next time, if like the question didn't give us the picture, it just told us in total there are 12 children, and Lucy is the 7th from the front, while King is the 2nd from the back. How can we get how many children between King and Lucy? We can also solve it, but this one you need to draw it out by yourself. First, decide the direction. Normally, we just draw a horizontal line from left to right. It saves a lot of space. After that, we need to draw the main characters and others. The main character is very easy. Just the 2 guys we are discussing in this question, they are Lucy and King. After that, we also need to draw others. Lucy is the 7th from the front, so you can see, as we mentioned, if that is 7th at a certain position, that means Lucy is one of the 7 children, so we can let them on above a line. You can imagine the line is a kind of bench. Let all of them sit on the bench because Lucy is also one of it. And between them, we can also just draw 2 circles with 3 dots. Circle, circle, dot, 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 to represent some students are between these 2 guys. And behind King, because King is just the 2nd one from back, so we just need to draw 1 more circle. These are 2 of them. And in total, we can just put the total amount above all the children. We can see in total there are 12. Had better label the question in the picture too. Between and should not include both children. So compare the line above the circles and the lines below the circles. You can see that apparently. To get a question mark, we just need to take away 7 and 2, the front and the back students from the total. And when you are doing the calculation, you can first calculate the 2 numbers with the same tail. Then you can exactly make whole round number. After that, 10 minus 7 equals 3. So actually, after you draw the main characters, remember to mark the numbers and question in the diagram. It will be very clear. So even if the question doesn't give us the picture for the 12 guys, we can also just draw a simple diagram by ourselves to solve the queuing problems. Hope you can see how important it is for the children to know how can we use some diagram and operations to solve basic math problems. This is the first. Second, and it's really important for them to distinguish and know some basic, usually frequently used terms in standard 1 and standard 2. Only in that kind of case, after they entered standard 3, they know how to solve problems. So actually, the most important practice from standard 1 to 2 is not only about calculation, but give them more basic math problems to read, to practice, to help them improve the reading and comprehension very quickly. So only in this kind of case, they can solve problems by themselves. Because I think most the children will have such a sense. They know they can recognize every single word, but when those words are put together, they do not really understand what does this question mean. That is the biggest magic and the difference between math and other subjects. That's also actually just send the children to some language lessons is not enough to help them improve the reading and comprehension, because they do not know how to use it and they do not really know the nature, the definition behind those words. Hope everybody can enjoy thinking. Let's enjoy the fun math together. See you next time. Bye.